Then while we were at Bible school, I decided I was going to start using my faith for a husband. Because I knew I was called to the ministry, and I was not wanting to go on my own. And Psalm 37 verse 4 says, if you delight yourself in the Lord, he will give you the desires of your heart. And so I was very specific in what kind of husband I wanted, because if you pray, Father, give me a husband, then when he comes you don't like it, it's because you just was very vague. So it's very important to be specific what you want. So I said, Lord, first of all, I would like a husband who would lead me and guide me and would be more spiritual than I am. And I would like him to be tall, blonde, and with blue eyes. And then I reminded that the Lord took the animals in the ark 2 by 2, and then they came out of the ark 2 by 2, and I was going 1 by 1. And I said, Lord, I need to have my partner with me. Well, at the end of the year, just towards the end of the year, I got a phone call from this gentleman, and he said, I picked up the phone, and it was Apostle Theo, and he said, hello, Beverly. He was actually with my mother. Who Smiley said, if you want to get to know Beverly, you need to get her mother, because you can't get to Beverly if you don't go her mother first, right? So I heard, he said, hello, Beverly. So I said, hello. He said, this is Theo. So I said, okay. So he said, well, I'd like to take you out when you come from Bible school with the intention of marrying you. It's called the direct approach. So I said, well, I don't really know you. I'll go out with you, but I can't marry you because I don't know you and I don't love you. But I'll see you when I get back. He was at the airport with a big bunch of roses. And so our adventure began. Now, you must remember, I only really gave my life to the Lord at 19, and I'm like 22 now, and Apostle Theo knew so much about faith that I never knew. So he said, Bev, I want to marry you. So I said, you know what, I would love to marry you, but I really don't know you, and I don't really love you. So he said, okay, well, when we go out, let's play a game. So I said, oh, well, good, I like, let's play a game. So he said, every time I say, I love you, you must say back to me, I love you. So we went for dinner, and he said, Bev, I love you. I said, I love you. He said, no, I love you. And I said, I love you. Then he said, Bev, I want you to know I love you. Theo, I want you to know I love you. Do you know, it wasn't a week later, I was so head over heels in love with him. I never knew about confession brings possession. We got married so quickly, and then we decided we'll go down to Cape Town on our honeymoon, because my husband said to me, Bev, I believe God's going to speak to us where we should start a church, so let's plan our honeymoon. So I planned our honeymoon all around Cape Town, so if the Lord was going to talk to us, it would be around the Cape area. As we drove down the garden route, at that time we only stayed in bed and breakfast, and I would look at hotels and I said, you know, honey, one day I would love to stay in a beautiful hotel. And what I loved about him, and I still do today, is I love him because he always uses his faith. I married a man full of faith and full of vision. This was far more important to me than marrying a rich man. Because if you marry a man of faith, he will always be able to believe God for every area of your life. And Apostle Theo felt the Lord was going to speak to us, but he didn't speak to us in Cape Town, unfortunately. But when we came back to Durban, God spoke to Apostle Theo and told him exactly where we should start the church. And so that night, he went to see Fred Roberts, Dr. Fred Roberts. And as he walked into the church, Dr. Fred Roberts said, "Hi, Theo, I know exactly where you should start the church." So Apostle Theo said, "Where?" So Dr. Roberts said, "You should go to Bedfordview, Johannesburg." But that was already in Apostle Theo's heart. And so our journey of faith began. We were so excited about the ministry, we couldn't wait to go. One night we went to church, and there was a man who was believed to be a prophet. And we were called forward, and he prophesied doom and gloom over us. He prophesied and told Apostle Theo that he was not called in the ministry. I was not called in the ministry, that he had his own doctrine, and it was not a correct doctrine. And so after church, when we were driving home, although I was very embarrassed and disappointed, I never for 1 minute doubted the call of God in my life or on the life of my husband. And you see, family, we must not be led by people or prophets. Prophet must only confirm what God has put in your heart. Romans 8:14 says, "As many are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God." So Apostle Theo said, "Beverly, we don't have to be embarrassed. We don't have to be disappointed, because we know what God is saying to us, and we're not going to let the devil stop us that easily." And so we packed everything in our white Chevrolet car, and off we went. We left our church, we left our friends, we left our family, we left everybody we knew, and off we went. We were obedient to the call of God on our lives. When we got to Bedfordview, we rented an apartment in a block of flats called Nahoon. Now, we were on the ground floor, and Apostle Theo had done some real estate business before we got married, and so he had money saved up. And we were going to build a house. But one night, the Lord spoke to Apostle Theo and said, "I don't want you to build a house. I want you to take all the money that you save from your deals in real estate, and I want you to start the church with it." So Apostle Theo said, "Lord, I am obedient, I'm willing, but do you mind just speaking to my wife about this?" And so lying in bed one night, Apostle Theo said, "Bev, is the Lord speaking to you about anything that we should do?" So I said, "Funny enough, I really believe we should take all the money that we've saved, and let's just start the church with that." And so he said, "Funny enough, yes, I'll agree with you on that." Meantime, the Lord already told him before. In all the 40 years of ministry, we have always been in agreement when it's come to big decisions in ministry. We were on the ground floor. When we started, we had no furniture. So his brother had lent us a desk. So we took out the desk, we took out the drawers, we put them sideways, and voila, we had chairs. So that's how we started. We had one bed and one desk and no furniture. We used to go and get dressed in the bathroom because everyone could see us otherwise. And everyone thought that our apartment was always up for rent because it didn't look like anybody was living there. But we had faith. We had a vision. And sometimes that's all you need when you're starting out. You've got to have a vision and you've got to have faith. Many people want to start out their journey in life with everything. They don't value a small beginning. They wish for big ministry. They wish for a big business. But every ministry, every business starts out as a seed. Inside a seed lies a tree. On a tree, fruit is found. Inside the fruit, there's more seeds. Then you replant those seeds and it equals more trees and more fruit. And the planting of those seeds equals more trees and more fruit until a forest arises from one seed. And as I think about all the churches that have started out of one seed, I can see a forest has begun to bloom. Don't despise small beginnings. It's time to decide what your tomorrow will be based on your dedication today.
Thank you for watching Dr. Bev's YouTube channel. We will continue to offer dynamic and uplifting highlights from Dr. Bev's messages. Please take the time to like and share the videos. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Keep watching the Dr. Beverly Wolmarans YouTube channel.